The roof is open in Indianapolis on a 54-degree day, and a big one coming up. The Broncos and the Colts. Hello, friends. Jim Nantz along with Phil Simms and Tracy Wolfson. We've got one of the unbeatens against one of the unknowns.
Really, two unknowns. Indianapolis Colts 3-5. That surprises everybody. And, of course, the play of Andrew Luck has been a mystery to everybody in the league. We'll see if he can correct some of the mistakes he's had this year here today.
This game is being broadcast in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television. And the Colts had the choice. They won the toss, elected to kick it away to Omar Bolden. Pat McAfee handles the kickoff chores. And a strong-legged boot to get this thing started. So Peyton Manning coming back out onto the field. The stadium, many say, is the house that Peyton built. Going for the record today, all-time career wins, as well as a shot at the all-time passing yardage mark. Needs 284 to move past Favre in that category. Watch the left side today. Ryan Harris starts. We'll see a lot of Columbus at left tackle as well. Thomas coming off back-to-back big games. And the running attack has come to life for Denver the last two outings. Hillman gets the start. He's been nursing a thigh bruise during the week, but he's a goat. They fake it to him and toss it over to Sanders. And he is tripped up right away by Vontae Davis for no gain. And Sanders hobbles to the sideline as you look at this defense. David Perry, one of two rookies from Stanford on that defensive front. Freeman in on so many different plays. And Vontae Davis coming up with that tackle that in the end injured Emmanuel Sanders. Vernon Davis is on the field, just acquired this week in a trade from San Francisco, wearing number 80 that used to belong, of course, to Julius Thomas. And here's Manning on 2nd and 10, and that pass was thrown in the direction of Demaryius Thomas. And a 3rd and 10 coming up for Denver. Now, what happened to Emmanuel Sanders on the first snap of the game?
Quick screen to the outside. They love these screens to the wide receivers. And it's the injury. You see the left foot gets caught underneath. Great reaction by Vontae Davis.
So 3rd and 10 as Fowler comes over to the right side. C.J. Anderson wanting some clarification. And now the Broncos are set. Plenty of time on the play clock. Manning's throw caught by Fowler, fighting for the first and stopped inside of a yard short. Brought down by Darius Butler.
Well, emotion, the crowd noise. Darius Butler, number 20 in the slot. The extra defensive back. Let him catch it in front of the first down mark, and you got to make the tackle. Excellent job by Darius Butler. Vontae Davis, no yards after the catch.
So a foot short of the first, and on 4th down, out comes Britton Colquitt. A 3-and-out start for that Colts defense. Juan Bray is the returner who shifts over to his left and makes the catch and is immediately slammed down by Bolden. Great coverage by Omar Bolden after the 52-yard punt. And Colquitt loved the effort by his gunner, Omar Bolden. So now we'll see the Colts and Andrew Luck begin at the 18. They have been just awful at the start. They have not scored a touchdown in 4 of the 8 games in the first half. Big mission for them is to come out and get something going right away. It's Gore. And Gore plows ahead for about 5. They do have T.Y. Hilton on the field. It was a big question mark all week long with a foot sprain. Luck has won 2 of the 3 matchups against Peyton Manning, including this past January in Denver in the divisional round of the playoffs. Costanzo is going to have a busy afternoon trying to contain the likes of DeMarcus Ware. And as we mentioned, Hilton, a lot of folks thought, even reported, he may not be playing today. He is out there to get this game started. Second and 5. And it's Gore again, and he's immediately into the arms of Malik Jackson. Now let's take a look at this defensive unit that is in many minds, including ours, the best single unit in the league this year. The Denver defense led by Wade Phillips. Wolf was the defensive player of the week just last week with his play against Green Bay. And there's DeMarcus Ware and Chris Harris, who hasn't given up a touchdown pass thrown to his man in some 31 consecutive games.
Chris Harris goes with T.Y. Hilton. He even said to us last night, I sure hope he plays because he wants this one-on-one matchup.
3rd and 6. Pass deflected. Jackson makes plays back-to-back. A tackle for a loss and a knockdown. And the Colts come back and with a 3-and-out of their own.
Well, it's not always about hitting the quarterback, just pushing the pocket. Malik Jackson is actually double-teamed, and Jim, we've talked about him many times. We used to see him when he got a couple plays a game to turning into a starter and to a guy now that does his job very well.
McAfee to punt to Bolden. McAfee, 45 net average. Of course, Bolden taking over here for Emmanuel Sanders, who is their normal punt returner, but got injured on that first play. And the McAfee punt goes out of bounds near the 28. Call it the 29. 3 matchups. This is the second time they've met here. The first encounter, in fact, when Peyton had the return a couple of years ago. Luck and the Colts won that one, and then the Broncos won the season opener in 2014 before they met again at the end of last season, again in the playoffs, in the postseason, and Luck and Indianapolis ended Denver's season. And that loss for the Broncos triggered the firing of John Fox and brought in Gary Kubiak as the head coach. Play action fake and a little toss over to Owen Daniels, and he's got a blocker in front, wide open space. And Adams gets a little push out as well, but it's Lowry who was chasing after him, but it's a gain of 20.
Screen game is great when you talk to the Denver Broncos. 76, Tyler Columbus gets out front. This is a screen that actually hurt this Colts defense last week against the Carolina Panthers. So they saw it on film, they timed it right, and got great yardage out of it.
Cody Latimer is the receiver in there for Sanders, who remains on the sideline. First down Gary. It's Hillman. Could have been a loss. Nice little sidestep move. Picks up a couple. And of course Gary Kubiak, he's not a stranger to coming here and trying to coach against the Colts. He came here 7 times as the man on the sideline for the Houston Texans. They never won any of those games here. Of course, most of those going against Peyton Manning. How about this? Emmanuel Sanders is back in on this play. 2nd and 8. He's got that ankle I'm seeing there. Sanders all taped up. The pass, and it's a little high. Sailed on him, looking for Fowler. Well, we saw Peyton last night in person. Great spirits. Excited to be back in Indianapolis. Knows there's a couple of records in the balance today. The one he only really cares about is the all-time wins.
I think the other thing he really cares about, you're right there, Jim, the yards. None of that means nothing. It's about wins, but also he's excited because he thinks the offense is finally rounding in to the form that he wants to see. His offense, Gary Kubiak's offense, meshing together, and they had their best week of the year last week against Green Bay.
3rd and 8. Here comes pressure. Pass away, and the pressure forced that throw to be off the money. Eric Walden was the one who was getting close to Peyton when he released it.
Well, they made him hold the ball for the extra count. 93, Peyton's looking for that hit step to get underneath him to make an in-cut throw to Caldwell, who's open, but good pressure on the outside by Eric Walden.
Well, Manning getting away just in time. He has not been sacked in his last 85 pass plays, and that incompletion sets up 4th and 8 from the 50.
Great start for the Colts defense the first 2 series.
Colquitt. Fair catch signal. And a generous Indianapolis bounce. Settling near the 20. We've got an update. Let's go back to the studio in New York.
A shootout in Pittsburgh.
What a day for Derek Carr, guys. 24 of 44, 301 yards,
And this touchdown pass makes it 4 for the day. That's the Michael Crabtree, 38 yards. This game is tied with 1:15 to go at 35.
The resurgent Raiders. Back to Jim Nantz.
Boy, that game has all kinds of, here we are midway point, all kinds of down the road wild card implications. Some wild ones in the early window, including Tennessee winning in overtime down in New Orleans. Mike Mularkey taking over as coach and getting a win. Here's a 1st and 10 handoff to Gore, and he's got a first down and a gain of about 17. Broke away from T.J. Ward.
Well, when we talked to Costanzo, the left tackle, and he says Frank Gore's the guy that gets us going. Andre Johnson gets out in front and makes a block, but when he's running a course, it means the offensive line's dominating, getting some power, and that's how you get them going. And I think their run game has a chance to do well here today. This offensive line, the last couple weeks, has rounded into form, got more physical.
Of course, they've got a new play caller in offensive coordinator Rob Chudzinski taking over this week. As there was some upheaval, they fired Pep Hamilton. And here's a first down pass play, or is it? Gets it away, and it's knocked down by Aqib Talib. Thrown toward Andre Johnson. Oh, we've got another update out of the studio. Right back to you, JB.
Game-winning field goal by Minnesota, JB. That's Blair Walsh. That's 40 yards. Minnesota now goes to 6-2. They beat the Rams 21-18.
Back to Jim Nantz.
Thank you, JB and Boomer. And of course, Sean Hill had to come in for an injured Teddy Bridgewater late in that game. 2nd and 10 back here. And here's the give to Ahmad Bradshaw for no gain. Now let's talk about Chudzinski taking over as the offensive coordinator here. Pep Hamilton, very popular with the players, goes back a long way with Andrew Luck in his days at Stanford, but the change was made.
Well, look, there's only so much he can do in 3 days. Calling the football game from the booth up top so he can see everything. But what's the difference? It's a sequence of play calls. You can give the same 10 plays to every team in the league. The most important thing about being an offensive coordinator, when you call those plays.
3rd and 10. Coming in on Luck, over the top he goes. Oh, what a collision. How did Hilton hold on to that? And it generates a flag on top of it on T.J. Ward. The play picks up 28. Vicious hit on the backside of it. It's going to tack on yardage. Chris Harris was shaken up as well on that play.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 43 defense. They hit on the defensive player. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
I have no idea how you can hold on to a football with contact like that, but he did.
Yeah, pressured. What a job by Jonathan Harrison at the last second to save Andrew Luck so he can get the football off. And T.Y. Hilton right down the middle of the field. Chris Harris expecting him to go across, and that hit is high, helmet to helmet, above the shoulders. Personal foul and good call. But boy, Jonathan Harrison, the center, Jim, number 72, really has played excellent for the Colts offensive line and helped make that play with the extra time he gave Andrew Luck.
From the 20, first down. Luck connects with Whalen, who is wrapped up by Webster after 5, and we're right back to the studio in New York.
Carolina playing well.
Hey guys, in the midst of a Green Bay furious comeback here in the second half, Aaron Rodgers going to throw an interception. That's Thomas Davis. Carolina looks like they're going to go on to being 8-0, 37-29. Carolina over Green Bay right now with a few seconds left to play.
Back to Jim Nantz and Phil Simms.
Well, not a lot of talk about that this week. Here's Harris went out for that last play where you saw the collision. Now he's headed to the locker room. But that game between the Packers and the Panthers, that's going to come back come playoff time. Factor into home field. Very big possibility. 2nd and 5. And Luck from the pocket. Steps up. Takes off. and is about 2 yards short of the first. Trevathan was able to get to him. There's a flag in the secondary.
That's what you want to see Andrew Luck do today, Jim. Look, if they're not open, throw the ball away or run with the football. Good job that time.
Illegal use of the hands, hands to the face, number 36. Defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Well, this Denver defense now being challenged. They have not allowed a first quarter touchdown this season.
You know, just going back to Andrew Luck, Chuck Pagano said it perfectly, and there's a couple of plays already where he's standing there too long. He says, Andrew, you've got to know when to say when, because he's a big, tough guy, can stand in the pocket as good as any quarterback in the league. But this league is about rhythm, getting rid of the football, and don't get hit.
First and goal. Up ahead, Gore for the touchdown.
Look like a snake just slithering through the little openings, and that's Frank Gore. Just a good double team and a nice job by Jonathan Harrison again. Double team Sylvester Williams, gets off on the linebacker, watch the little cutback by Frank Gore. And we said it already, they need to run that football straight ahead. It's just a great thing for this team to do to give them a chance to win today.
Well, they were aided by 2 defensive penalties, but an impressive drive, 81 yards they go. The drive actually began with a 17-yard Gore run, and then it ends with the touchdown from 7 yards out from Gore. Here's Harrison. You talked about how well he's been playing, and Thornton, and Gore has the touchdown, his 4th of the season.
Yeah, Harrison, the center, he just jumped out at me when I was watching him, some of the things he's done. We talked to Chuck Pagano. I know he's just a center, but he just says, hey, second year, not hitting that rookie wall, really playing well. And I think that, myself included, I've said some things about this Colts offensive line. And it's, like I said, it's rounded into shape here the last couple weeks. And what a start for the Colts, huh? The defense, 2 stops. The offense gets a long drive.
And gets something that's been a rarity.
That's
production at the start of a game.
At the start of the game.
That's got to make Shadzinski feel awfully good about things, because the last 2 games they had not produced a first half touchdown. 4 again out of the 8 games. No touchdown by the offense in the first half. They have one early today. Bolden's bringing it out. Bolden to the 21. Griff Whalen on the hit. Never miss a moment of football action with the CBS Sports app. Every play and score, every game and every highlight, right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now at cbssports.com/mobile.
Got to ask you a question. The roof is open. Why is the roof open?
Just a chance to enjoy a late fall afternoon here.
Yeah,
54 degrees.
Yep. Wouldn't be because Peyton Manning's here.
Hillman for about 3. I really don't see what difference it would really make if you're presenting the argument that it's trying to make it a little colder here.
Yeah,
I mean, it's 54 degrees.
Jim, it's just about playing the head game. Hey, maybe they did it for all the right reasons, to let the fans enjoy the autumn fall day, and I just go, I don't believe it. Why are the windows then closed? Because when they were open earlier, you and I, papers were flying all around the booth because the wind is pretty strong outside.
Werner is there for the tackle behind the line of scrimmage, but a flag comes down. And a loss of 4. Well, if you're trying to get to him, why wouldn't you left the end zone window open? Make it even a little bit blustery around here.
Down.
Well, you know, I just don't have all the answers. I just can't get them all to you.
It's a rarity,
there
my
you
friend.
Go. But again, just to watch that first, the penetration. The thing about the Colts and some of these young guys, David Perry, Henry Anderson, rookie defensive lineman, they have been solid all year, but they just keep getting better and better, and they caused that loss of yards on that last run.
Now it's 3rd and long for the third time already in this quarter for the Broncos. Blocked by Thomas, and he's got the yardage.
Beautiful protection for Peyton Manning. Big pocket, safe zone. That's what you got to do. And you got to realize where's the yard marker. Darius Butler, I know his job is outside, but that receiver is 5 yards short of the first down marker. Peyton Manning gets that extra time, and he gets that hitch step underneath him. He can still drive the football well enough to make tight throws.
They fake the handoff to Anderson, going deep down the field and trying to stretch it out with Sanders almost. He had a step on Toller. Peyton knows he had an open man. It's just fractionally off.
Just needed more air on the football. Outside technique, little stutter go. Like you see a little hitch. And Peyton Manning gets in this building like he's done his whole career, always looking for that football that goes over the top, and usually it's with a double move like we saw with Sanders there.
Peyton coming off a fine showing against Green Bay last week. 340 yards passing, 2nd and 10. And that one escapes the hands of Anderson.
Got away from Peyton Manning a little.
With NFL Mobile, stream live local Sunday afternoon, primetime games, and NFL Red Zone. Right on your mobile device. Learn more at NFL.com/mobile.
You know, the thing for a defense, crowd noise, it's emotional. It's Peyton Manning, undefeated team. Don't be a hero. Get too aggressive, you'll give up a big play that leads to a touchdown.
And yet another 3rd and long. Every third down's been at least 8 away. They connected the last time, and they do it again. Sanders so good on the sideline. They give him the catch.
Unbelievable throw and catch. It really was. And they're going to go hurry just in case it's not in bounds.
Sure don't see any evidence that he wasn't in bounds. And the play's in the books now as they hand it off for no gain.
But the anticipation of the throw, you know, you always hear this, but that was true on, you know, here, oh, he anticipated it, it's overstated. Not that time. Looked like he was really well covered. Sanders came out of the break, and there was the football low and outside.
So after no gain on that last play for Hillman, it's 2nd and 10. A drive that has seen them convert from 3rd and 11, 3rd and 10 as well. And play action, they come busting through. Sanders again for the 2nd time is walloped at the line of scrimmage. This time, Mike Adams.
Well, we're seeing a couple things. Good protection for Peyton Manning. He's making good throws. But so far, how about this open field tackling by the Colts? It is square, it's to the point, and they're going right to the ground.
Their coordinator, Greg Minuski.
Yeah, he's pretty excitable, isn't he?
Oh. There's a lot of energy out of that man every day, and he's got to like what he's seeing from his unit so far. But they need to stop him on 3rd down. They've given up a couple conversions on this series. 3rd and 9. It was a timeout called by Indianapolis.
Timeout. Indianapolis.
While we have a moment, let's get updated again. Back to New York.
Jim, Pittsburgh trying to win a shootout.
That's right, guys. Chris Boswell, 19 yards out, makes it 38-35 with 2 seconds left to go in the game. 597 total yards for the Pittsburgh offense. Antonio Brown, 17 catches, 284 receiving yards, both franchise records for the Steelers.
Landry Jones efficient, replacing the injured Ben Roethlisberger. Back to Jim Nance.
Yeah, it didn't look good. Roethlisberger getting injured late in that game.
I did not see the injury. I just heard the report, and it did not sound good. But they gave you. We talked about, just real quick, Landry Jones. So much work in the preseason, at least gives him a chance to perform if he has to replace Roethlisberger for a little bit.
Yeah, they've already lost Le'Veon Bell. Looks like an apparent ankle injury for Ben. 3rd and 9, coming out of a Colts timeout. Good protection, and that pays off with the. Well, it's dropped in the end. Daniels did not hold. They're going to give him the catch, it looks like.
Was he contacted going to the ground? That'll be the point against D'Qwell Jackson. There you go. That's what.
Now they're ruling on the field incomplete.
Ruling on the field is incomplete.
That's a big call right there. That would have been a first down. Another conversion on 3rd and long. It would have picked up 12. What did you see there, Phil?
I think it's going to stay incomplete.
You see any reason to challenge it if you're Gary Kubiak?
No, I do not. I do not, Jim. As he's touched to go down, the football came out. Gary Kubiak's had plenty of time to have everybody upstairs talk to him, and they said, don't challenge.
Colquitt with Bray back around the 10-yard line. Grabs hold of it at the 12. 39-yard punt. Three possessions, 3 punts so far for the Broncos. And the last time the Colts had it, they drove 81 yards for a touchdown. Colts lead it here 7-0. Driving 81 yards the last time they had it, resulting in a Frank Gore touchdown run from 7 yards out. Here's Gore again to start the 3rd series of the game for Indianapolis.
Got to see the game plan. Rob Chudzinski, what does he do? Kind of comes from the Norv Turner tree. Run the football hard, get some play actions. That's what we've seen so far.
7-0 the Colts here in Indianapolis. They've ridden Frank Gore so far in this first quarter, 31 yards and a touchdown, and he's got a 2nd and 7 here. Does Luck taking the snap from under center, and Adams Hilton trying to step around a couple of defenders. They've got a first down on gain of 12.
Well, you know, Jim, you look at T.Y. Hilton, looked pretty fresh right there. Thought he was going to be a game-time decision, which he was. We didn't see him work out before the game. But Chris Harris, who a lot of times goes against receivers that are small, fast, and productive, just like T.Y. Hilton.
For those who didn't see it, Hilton on the touchdown drive had a 28-yard catch, and there was a 15-yard penalty added onto it because of a hit to the head. It was an amazing catch by Hilton. He was hit by Ward, who was flagged for it. And we got another flag here coming out from Brad Allen's crew.
Offside, defense number 58, unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty, first down.
3rd defensive penalty on the Broncos. Jim Nantz, Bill Sims, Tracy Wolfson, all the crew. Like to welcome everybody across the nation now. Everyone's here at Indianapolis as the Colts have jumped on top of the Broncos in the opening quarter. 7-0 on a Frank Gore touchdown run from 7 yards out, completing an 81-yard touchdown drive. This is Gore trying the right side on a 1st and 5 for only a yard. What have you seen so far here?
Well, I've just seen a little bit of a different mindset. Jim, we were at practice on Friday. My gosh, the Colts were practicing so hard you thought that was the game. But they've carried it over here to the game. And I go back to this. Andrew Luck says the 3 and outs, we've had so many. We're the reason we destroy our own defense. So a good start by them, physical start by this Colts offense here today.
Chris Harris was shaken up on the last Indianapolis possession. He went to the locker room and he just jogged back to the Denver sideline as Luck has time and has the completion. That goes to Moncrief. Do you know coming into this game Luck had only thrown 6 passes the whole year with the lead. Give you an example of how much that's incredible if you look that one up.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to see that or to think that when you're thinking of a team that was somewhat, well, what a lot of people thought was going to be a Super Bowl contender.
Instead, 3 and 5 coming in. Harris is back on the field. Closing seconds of the first quarter. And a first down here for Indy. And they'll head on to the second quarter. 7-0 Colts after 1. We'll return after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50. So the first quarter saw the Colts pick up 87 yards against the #1 defense in the league. #1 against, yards allowed, total sacks, yards per play, fewest points. Here's a first down carry by Gore. He's got 11 more, giving him 43 for the game.
Well, you think it's going to follow the tight end going across the formation or the wide receiver. No, it's right up the middle. And once again, you said it, too. Harrison, Thornton, and Muhort, the left guard, they are winning the war inside. Of course, that's what it is. You talk about offense and defensive linemen.
Ooh, a flag just came out as the Colts broke huddle.
It's a personal foul, resting the face mask and the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Now, I've never seen one, but I've just saw finally a late flag. That is a really late call.
I mean, I was thinking that they grabbed somebody's face mask in the huddle because this play was dead 30 seconds ago.
It was amazing delay of call, but a proper call because it was absolutely a face mask.
What do you think? They looked up at the Jumbotron?
You know,
I mean, they're about to run the next play.
I always make fun. Oh, a late flag. What do you mean a late flag? They do it. No, that was a late flag.
Not even talking hurry up offense. The Colts had retreated, huddled. First down carry. Backed up this time. Gore into the arms of Wolf. Tomorrow, the Late Show, Stephen Colbert. Don't miss Ethan Hawke. Tuesday's got Shonda Rhimes. It's all new, only CBS.
Well, Derek Wolf back in the lineup after his 4-game suspension, and he is, to me, probably their most consistent run stopper. So they love having him back in there. Gives more freedom to guys like Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware.
Again, the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his efforts against Green Bay. 2nd and 11. Fleener at the 30. And tackled immediately by Ward. That last drive, the touchdown drive, here's a look.
Yeah, watch the center. Harrison, at the last second, gets Von Miller just enough out of the way. Wow, what a throw down the field by Andrew Luck, and what a catch. And then going into the end zone. Talked about it a few times already, the interior offensive line. Off to a great start. Wade Phillips doesn't sit back, blitz the last play. Colts had the right play call, a quick pass outside.
3rd and 6.
Go!
Luck has been true on his last 5 attempts. Trying to keep the drive going. Open man. A good piece of tackling by Ward. Prevents the first down for T.Y. Hilton. Keeps him at least a yard short of it.
They have such good cover guys. This is not even a question. You don't even think about going forward here on 4th down and 1. You kick the field goal, especially up 7-0. But they blitzed. They're going to keep Andrew Luck in the pocket. You can do that when you have such good cover guys, which this Denver defense has.
Adam Vinatieri, it's going to be a 43-yard attempt. He's made 40 of his last 41 at Lucas Oil Stadium. Again from 43 yards, McAfee on the hold, and Vinatieri. His 488th career make, and it's 10-0 Indianapolis. Aerial coverage of today's game is provided by DirecTV. As you look at Circle City, did you know that Elvis's last ever concert was here in Indianapolis?
No, but I do now.
Hey, now you know. And will this be, though, the question is, I'll go from Elvis to Peyton. Okay. Will this be the last time he ever plays here?
Look, knowing Peyton Manning, I'm definitely not going to say this is going to be the last appearance here.
Seven yards. So far they've run it 4 times for only 2 yards. Big reason why it's set up so many 3rd and longs. Now this is the best rush so far. It's a good one by C.J. Anderson for 10. Let's take a look at next gen stats presented by Esurance. The fewest average yards moved per pass play. You know, it doesn't surprise you for Brady and Manning, but it does as far as pure pass plays. Cam Newton's 3rd.
Yeah, how about that? Cam Newton stands in the pocket as good as anybody in the NFL.
Well, standing in the pocket and hitting his man. That's Fowler with a 2nd catch today. This one for a gain of 12.
Benny Fowler in the slot against number 20, Darius Butler. Peyton Manning loves these in cuts. Can see who's in front or underneath. And Fowler, what a good-looking receiver. He is big and strong.
That's Anderson for only a yard. And they're going to go no huddle here.
This used to be Tom Moore started to hurry up with Peyton Manning about 16, 17 years ago.
On the pocket, over the top, and it is picked off. Off the deflection is Mike Adams. Did he get hurt? I think he got tripped up by his own teammate.
He could have got hurt as he was getting up off the ground. He was doing it so fast. That's when he went down.
The former Bronco, Mike Adams, makes the interception. Eagle Cam. That's Challenger right there. 26-year-old bald eagle cared for by the nonprofit American Eagle Foundation. Mike Adams to the sideline after making the interception. It's the 8th consecutive game Peyton has thrown a pick, and then Gore takes it up the middle for 3. And it looked like his left ankle just gave way as he makes the pick.
See it?
Yep.
And then as he jumps up, it gives again. So when you're playing a guy like Peyton Manning, this is a big deal when you talk about safeties, because they got to get you lined up for the hurry-up offense. They watch the play clock to alert the guys what the call is.
Adams, who played for the Broncos, was their strong safety back in 2012 and 13. 2nd and 7. Luck with the time. Dangerous throw, almost right into the arms of Trevathan. 3rd and 7. Tomorrow on CBS, why be ordinary when it's your destiny to be super? Don't miss a new episode of the hit drama Supergirl. Tomorrow at 8, 7 Central, only CBS.
You have to play this Denver defense almost like the old days when it was Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis in their prime here in this building. The quarterbacks that would come in here and play say, I get a chance, I get to look at one receiver, and if they're not open, throw it away or run. You almost have to feel the same way playing Denver.
3rd and 7. Blitz, open man, it's Hilton. T.Y. Hilton to the 30-yard line. He got a lot of help. Everybody did, including Ahmad Bradshaw, helping out on the passing game with a block.
Well, the speed, watch the blitz. It's just not timed greatly. Andrew Luck sensed it, knew he had to get rid of it, and nobody covering T.Y. Hilton. Wow, is that amazing?
Yeah,
well, that's why there's nobody covering. Kobe Fleener just set a block to the outside, which was legal, fighting his way down the field. That's one thing you need to do against this defense. They play tight, so bunch the formations, cross each other, try to create confusion like we just saw.
What a job by Bradshaw picking up the blitz. It's a 30-yard gain. And now Luck goes down the field, and Fleener doing a good job of making sure that's not intercepted by Trevathan.
That's what you do as a receiver. You tell your quarterback, never worry about throwing it down the field. I will protect you. And Fleener does a great job. How about Trevathan? No. The two unsung heroes of this defense, which there are many heroes so far this season, talk about Denver, is Denny Trevathan and then Brandon Marshall, the two inside linebackers. Kind of one of the first things that Chudzinski he brought up to us. Hey, these two inside linebackers, they're smart, they're fast, and they can do everything.
Well, of course, they get overshadowed by the outside backers with Ware and Miller, but it's not a weak spot on this defense. 2nd and 10, but the Colts are certainly having the better of it today as Gore is still in bounds and backs out near the 6. Actually, they're going to spot him now back at the 11.
Play sequences, that's what I talked about. When do you call the plays? It's not sometimes the scheme, it's the selection of the timing, and that was perfect. How about Thornton getting outside?
Well, they mark him here at the 11. Watch this. He got all the way close to the 5. That's where they said he stepped out. I don't see a challenge flag coming out.
It's a big
Chuck
difference.
Pagano. 1st and 10 at the 11. And that play went for 19. Bradshaw's the running back. Trying to bounce outside. It's not there. Vance Walker, Derek Wolfe.
Well, you know, listen, just the way Denver plays defense, and Wade Phillips, we've talked about him many times, watched many different teams he's been the coordinator of. They don't care. They will crowd the line of scrimmage, and he'll call blitzes, and they just don't let up on the pressure. So they're crowding everybody up in there to make sure they stop the run. Why? Throw it. Our pass rush, our great cover guys. We trust that they can get the job done.
120. What's that?
On 2nd and 10. Luck, middle of the field. Whalen. He had 3 Broncos take a shot at him. He holds on for 8. It's going to be about a 3rd and 2.
Pretty evident. The pressure, the pocket, watch it. Another blitz. They're coming free. Andrew Luck stood in there. Vance Walker was right in front of him. And the good thing is, Jim, and you watch these receivers, they are catching it over the middle and putting 2 hands on that football because speed and contact are coming.
So Whalen, who made some big catches Monday night in that comeback attempt, gets him within 2 of a first. Gore's the running back. They're going to go up top for it. And over they go to Doyle, who reaches across, and it's a touchdown.
What a drive.
Jack Doyle, in his 3rd year out of Western Kentucky, breaks the plane. Doesn't matter that the ball comes out. It's a touchdown for the Colts.
Well, they're going to hold, just make sure and look at it and confirm the touchdown. But the play calling, I got to give Rob Chudzinski a lot of credit. Keeping the Denver defense off balance. Great mixture. And Andrew Luck hanging in there. And then when he needs to, getting rid of the football quickly.
Touchdown is confirmed. Andrew Luck's 100th career touchdown pass in the regular season. And Vinatieri makes it 17-0. Set up by the Mike Adams interception. Ball that was first tipped by Lowry. And then Luck finds Doyle. Next on 60 Minutes tonight, the largest and most complex machine ever made, and its mission sounds like science fiction, plus a front row seat at the hottest show on Broadway. That's coming up on 60 Minutes tonight. The Colts have scored on their last 3 drives, 2 touchdowns and a field goal, and Denver has its largest deficit this season. The Broncos have run into a buzzsaw at the start of this one. Coming into the week, 1 of 4 unbeatens. The other 3 have already won for the 8th time. The Bengals on Thursday night, Patriots and Panthers today. Manning's pass on first down is over to Sanders for about 6. Now Colt Anderson comes in at strong safety for Mike Adams.
I think a really big key, haven't talked about it yet, when you talk about this Colts defense, can the inside guys stop the run so they can keep the safeties back and take some pressure off of these corners against very fast wide receivers.
Go. 2nd and 5, and they're blitzing, and Peyton's going long with it, and he's got a man, and it's incomplete, no flag. That was his first target of Vernon Davis.
Oh, I tell you, Vernon Davis, I thought he had a chance to get that.
I first looked up and I thought, man, look at Emmanuel Sanders flying, and it was the tight end split wide.
Colt Anderson, you better get on that horse and run. It might have grabbed that. Does he grab the arm? That's what does it. That's why he doesn't get his hands up to get the catch. That's what they want to see from Vernon Davis. Get him down the field. That's his greatest attribute, how fast he is.
3rd and 5. It's the shortest 3rd down situation of the game for the Broncos. And what a catch it is. Sanders on the spot. He's got the first. Just inches across the 30. That's enough.
Yep, against Vernon Davis's brother.
Yeah, it's the first time that Vernon and Vontae have actually played in the same NFL game. They've had situations where it could have come up, but one of them was injured. First down carry that time by Anderson for a couple. Yeah, Vontae in his 7th year and Vernon in his 10th year, and here they are before the game. Vontae there, 21. He's the younger brother by 4.5 years. 2nd and 8.
Go.
Manning trying to hit Sanders, and at the last minute, Toller got a hand in there.
Just a beautiful play by Greg Toller. Greg Toller, Vontae Davis, both corners. Here it comes down the sideline. Just looking, and he sees the eyes of the receiver look up. And that's when he goes for the hand in front and tries to rake the football. The inside hand, the proper way to do it. When those two are healthy, the Colts defense can blitz more and do more. They've been beat up this season, but boy, they look fresh today.
Boy, they've taken a couple of deep shots at that Colts secondary, and it's 3rd and 8. And again, they go deep and in the direction of Andre Caldwell. Colquitt will have to punt again.
Well, that's what we've seen. I've seen more from Peyton Manning this year under Gary Kubiak. If you're going to give them a chance, they're going to throw the football deep down the sideline one-on-one. It's quite a few of them today. No connection so far. Tell you what, if I was a defensive back, Jim, it'd make me nervous, though.
Well, there's 3 passes that went more than 20 yards down the field. In the air with the pass. None of them connected. 4th punt now for Britton Colquitt. Gray. That's about a 3-yard run back off a 48-yard punt. Football back to Indianapolis. 5.5 to go, first half.
With the first pick of the draft.
With the first pick in the 2012 NFL Draft.
The Indianapolis Colts select.
The Indianapolis Colts select.
Quarterback.
Peyton
Manning.
Andrew Luck.
Serious symmetry right there for these two. There is a 3rd overall number 1 pick in the building as well today, John Elway.
You know what I think of when I see that? Peyton Manning told the Colts, if you don't take me, I'm going to beat your rear ends for the next 15 years.
There's Gore. Give him 2. Let's send it to Tracy Wolfson.
Well, thanks a lot, Jim. We saw Colts safety Mike Adams get hurt in that interception. He's in the locker room. They were looking at his left ankle. They were also looking at his hamstring. He spent a lot of time down on the sidelines before they took him in, though. He did not want to go inside, but they needed further evaluation. His status right now, unknown, Jim.
And there is Colt Anderson. In for Adams. 2nd and 8, meanwhile, for the Indy offensive attack, which has been absolutely magnificent to this point. That's Gore for 7. Just imagine if they're able to produce a drive here, use up most of the time in the first half. They also get the second half kickoff.
Yeah, you know, it makes me think to so many things. You know, we hear a lot of stuff from coaches, and you think it's coach speak, but after we talk to the Colts, what did Chuck Pagano say to us? We're so close. And then, you know, Jim, we watch all the games. I go, yep, a little break here. They played great against a Carolina team, or fought it out with them and lost in overtime. Of course, we see what happened to Green Bay down there today also.
Because we know we can play with anybody. Our mission is to start the game like we finish. There's Gore with the first down on 3rd and short.
The offensive line.
We get Luck come over and pick him up.
Oh, yeah, man. Everybody's involved. I love it. But the blocking inside, how about they just crush it? Down inside, you get Andre Johnson leading the way for Frank Gore. And then again, Frank Gore, what I love is he is making the right decision with the football every run. Catch him off balance with the screen. And the offensive line, they are feeling it, man.
12 carries, 59 yards for Gore, and a touchdown. Bradshaw takes his place on the field. Here's Luck. Pressure by his feet, and it's incomplete. That's Von Miller. Your weekend starts with a good one. Thursday night, Rex Ryan comes back to visit the Jets. The Bills and the Jets, both winners today. Thursday Night Football on NFL Network. We'll see you then.
That's right, coach to the Jets. We see that. Look at that. The New York Jets won 4 of the last 4 home games versus Buffalo. And Jim, you will not have time to read all the articles that we're going to see this week about the Bills and the Jets.
I'm going to try.
I know you will. But there's going to be a lot of talking from one side. I guess you know who.
2nd and 10. Incomplete. That was Ward defending on Dwayne Allen.
Well, like I said, they're not going to sit back and just let you, as Hank Stram would say, your great friend, they're our great friend, Jim, matriculate down the field. That's what they've been doing, so Wade Phillips is going to force them to throw the football. And then his guys, so far, the coverage, been very good.
Interesting matchup. Wade Phillips, defensive coordinator. Rob Chudzinski, offensive coordinator for the Colts. They were on the same staff together at San Diego back in 05 and 06. Good friends. Matching up today. 3rd and 10. And with pressure, Luck able to get away from it. And boy, is that close. What an effort by Luck.
Unbelievable. Tucked the football. Saw it. Didn't take a chance. And I'll tell you what, if I was Gary Kubiak, I would be ready to challenge this spot. They give it the first down. When did the knee go down?
He really had to get right to the 47 for the first.
Yes, it was so close, and I don't know if there's a mark on the field that would allow you to see it clearly and win that challenge, but when you get marks that close, especially when he's going that fast, that knee hits before the ball is going to hit the ground.
Well, play is underway. So onward they go without a challenge, and we're approaching the 2-minute warning. Colts have 2 timeouts. And the Broncos have used one here, their first. 17-0 Indianapolis, and looking for more. There you see the Colts recently partnering up with Thrive 360, fighting hunger through the 5th annual Million Meal Marathon event here at the stadium. The players and cheerleaders packing some meals. 2:16 to go.
Yep, I'll say this, 2:16 to go. Andrew Luck, decisive. One of his best halves of football of the year, and his running the football is extremely important to this game.
False start, offense number 75. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
So the Broncos have been shut out to this point. They have not been shut out in the first half in a stretch of 49 games. And a lot of folks will remember this one. It was October of 2012 at San Diego Trailed 24-0 at halftime. Came back to win 35-24. Second and 15.
Miss 70. Miss
Pocket to Fleener. Has Marshall on him.
Well, that saves time. The fact that they stopped the clock looked like Fleener was thrown out of bounds, and maybe going backwards, but they said no. So it helps this Denver offense if they get the football back, saving time and timeouts.
Well, they restart the clock.
That's right.
And they said he
was outside of 2 minutes.
Coming up, the Verizon halftime report. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Gower, all the scores and highlights. It's coming up on the Verizon halftime report. And there's Brandon Marshall, who was in on that last tackle. They took his helmet away. And they taken him to the locker room. 3rd and 11 at the 2-minute mark. Luck's not getting away this time. That's DeMarcus Ware.
Well, the giveaway is when you see DeMarcus Ware inside, he's going to come outside to try to get to the quarterback, and it worked.
A sack by DeMarcus Ware, which puts him into the top 10 all-time on the sack list with that one, and then the timeout by the Broncos, leaving them with 1. They're going to get another possession here before the intermission. McAfee's punt flies to the 24 and retreats a little bit.
Well, let's just take a look at the sack and just see how it happens. And here's 94. Now, he loves to use his speed, so he's going to loop around out here, and it just catches the left side of the line. Good timing, that's what it is. You've heard me say it 1,000 times. Now, just be one more. Blitzing or games like that inside, it's about timing, and a great job by DeMarcus Ware.
Let's see if the Broncos can get something going here for the first time. So far, Demaryius Thomas has only 1 catch. Here's the pass down the field, and that one is dropped by Sanders, who was open.
Cleared it out in the inside with Owen Daniels. Sanders comes underneath. Tight end up the field. On the outside, you see Sanders cut under. And looks like he just wanted to run with the football a little quick. Or when you're a little hurt, Jim, your concentration can lapse. And it almost looked like that could have been the case there.
Yeah, and he's been walloped a couple of times, including the first play of the game, 2nd and 10. Pressure on Manning, and he is knocked down, incomplete.
You can just say pressure by everybody. Kendall Langford, number 90, just big and just barrels in there. And if there's a weakness of this offense, obvious passing situations, can they give Peyton Manning enough time to set up and throw the football down the field?
7th time the Broncos have faced 3rd and at least 8. And Denver calls a timeout. Now, they fail to do anything with this next down. That'll give the Colts a chance with their 2 timeouts. Do a little business before halftime. And at the half, we will be going back to the Verizon halftime report. All the guys standing by for the update on all the scores and highlights. What a early set of games we saw today.
Shoot, what a game we're seeing here now. I mean, just the fact that it's 17-0. How about this Colts defense? What's the story? Greg Minuski, what pretty funny guy, you said, full of energy, and you know his age when he said to us the other day, we're getting our groove back. I was like, when I say groove, you know, it's...
You don't hear that word.
You don't hear it too much.
That one kind of disappeared 15 years ago. 3rd and 10. Manning's pass incomplete. Toller was there to defend it against Sanders.
The pass was absolutely perfect. The coverage was even better. Talked about it earlier. Peyton Manning gets time. He gets that second hop, and even though he goes to the ground, plenty of time to throw it. What's top of your screen? How about that? Good timing all over.
Last 5 passes have been incomplete. He's 9 of 22. There's the punt by Colquitt. Picked up by Bray. 124 for the Colts.
Yeah,
2 timeouts. 17-0 lead.
Gosh dang, it looked like you at the last wedding we were at, Jim, doing some spins and getting your groove back. I like it.
A triple sow cow.
That's it, man. But you know, listen, I'm just saying, why would you take that chance right there? You know, just the situation, the game, manage it.
70!
That hit came quick after the catch.
From the 27. Pick up a little yardage, just 3 on the completion to Fleener. And they'll hurry to the line and conserve the timeouts.
And you see this, everything with caution. Andrew Luck, I've said it, decision making has been perfect so far.
Pocket is sealed. Running out of time, and he throws it back in the direction of Fleener.
You sit here and you watch this first half, you think, wow, the Colts have been on the field a lot. This Denver defense is going to get tired. And my answer to that is, no, they won't, because they play so many guys.
It's going to be an interesting play call here because the Broncos are out of timeouts. Luck got hit here by Ware.
Yep, almost caught. Oh, got hit.
Jackson
Right
underneath there, and
definitely a personal foul that's missed.
Yeah. If you run it here, if you fail to pick up the first and you run it, you pretty much take away any chance that Denver could do something before the half.
You run it. That's what I would do.
Here's a timeout by Indianapolis. Well, you saw this one coming, didn't you?
Oh, yes. It's great.
Here's a team that put up this 17-point rally on Monday night at Carolina. They get into overtime, take the lead on a field goal, and still manage to lose that game.
You know, look, we never know. We think, you know, sometimes we get a feel for a game. I, of course, did not have any sensation or feelings that it could be like this. But I'll go back to what I saw on Friday, how hard they were practicing, the energy. And I expected really to go in and see a somber team because they just lost. And, you know, they had Pep Hamilton, the offensive coordinator here before, who had so much success and so many players loved him. But they were ready to go here today.
They're going to run it with Bradshaw, and he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Is that, would you say that was the hardest, most intense you've ever seen a team practice on a Friday?
Absolutely. It was. And I kept saying, you know, that was, and they all, no, we practice like this every Friday. Okay, yeah. I've only been following the league, you know, 40 years or whatever it is. I don't know. Long time. I've been to a lot of Friday practices.
Well, you had to wonder, how was this team going to respond? All the tumult during the week as they jettisoned Pep Hamilton, you know, all these reports about a players-only meeting and other reports that they're upset about the front office is making decisions on player lineups and who's participating. And anyway, they have certainly responded in such a big way. Some were thinking it might go the other way. Here's the punt by McAfee. A lot of hang time. And a run back attempt. It's Bolden down the sideline. Can you believe it? With no time left, Bolden takes it the distance. 84 yards.
And it's never over with this Broncos team, even if it had been 17-0 at half, because they're so explosive on both sides of the ball. And we just saw it in special teams. That will change the attitude of both teams tremendously as they go in at halftime.
Boy, McAfee knocked down a guy who was trying to throw a block on him. He just shoved him to the ground, David Bruton. But Omar Bolden, it's now officially 83 yards, started handling the return chores, the punt return chores, because Emmanuel Sanders got nicked early in this game. This usually belongs to Emmanuel. He had not returned a punt this season before this game. Bolden completely changes the tenor of things here to close out the first half with an electrifying return. His first career touchdown.
You thought Chuck Pagano would have to go in at halftime and settle his guys down because they were so excited. Now he's got to find a way to go in there and pick up their spirits.
Let's go down to Tracy.
Well, Coach, what a start offensively, but then the return there for the touchdown. What do you say to your guys when you go into the locker room?
We got to move on. We got to keep playing. We did play a great half until that last kick and play, and it is what it is, but we got to move on.
What has been the biggest difference with your offense so far in this game?
You know what? Efficiency. You know, they're getting in and out of the huddle. Offensive guys are doing a great job. We're getting some positive yards on the ground. It's opened up things in the pass game.
Thanks a lot. Jim?
Completely dominated the first half, and then just a lightning bolt to close out the second quarter. Omar Bolden. 17-7 Indianapolis. Verizon halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. As Dick Enberg would say, Omar, oh my.
Oh my.
The Colts in desperate need of a win. Lead at 17-7 over undefeated Denver. And now it's time for Who Are You Lovin', presented by McDonald's. Game Time Gold. Frank Gore in that first half, Phil. 13 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown. He caught another ball for a 19-yard gain.
I think the big question, all the fans are out there watching it. Hey, even we want to know, how can the Colts restart this engine? Can they get back what they had before that punt return?
That ball down by Bray. The punt return. There are folks already saying, wait a minute, he should have just kicked it out of bounds.
Yeah, well, look, maybe he was trying to. He kicked it outside the numbers. Right. He gave him 1/3 of the field to work with. The punter did a good job. You know, sometimes you got to make a football play. If you want to second guess, it's the play selection by the Colts at the end of the first half where we kind of hit. I said, just get to the locker room, 17-0. The incomplete pass kind of gave the Colts, put them in position where they had to punt the football at the end of the first half.
Gore gets the first handle, and he somehow squirts through there. Picks up 4, maybe 5, and let's get a report from the halftime locker rooms from Tracy.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Gary Kubiak said he hopes his team could feed off the energy from that punt return, but he said offensively his team was completely out of whack. They just didn't handle the ball well. Brandon Marshall, he is all good to go. He passed the concussion protocol test.
Here is Luck's pass, incomplete. And that was Dwayne Allen trying to get the ball to.
Well, anytime you take a second look down the field, somebody is coming from behind in his defense. And Barrett, boy, how about his story? Shaquille Barrett, they're not afraid to take out DeMarcus Ware, Von Miller, because they have so many good outside pass rushers. Keep them fresh. He almost turned the game around with that pressure on Andrew Luck.
Yep, second-year player out of Colorado State who went undrafted a year ago. 3rd and 6. Open field for Luck. He gets hit in the knee area by Ward, but gets up to his feet with a first down.
Is that movie? I can't remember. That'll leave a mark. That's for sure. I like this. I thought this was a huge key to the game for Andrew Luck and his Colts team, for him to look the decision and be quick with the decision to run the football. He has done that today, and that was a big first down for this Colts offense.
You know, that's twice now he has scrambled and taken off and picked up the first.
Got to slow that pass rush down a little bit. That was another blitz.
And Gordon. We were just talking about Shaq Barrett. He's in on that tackle. Holds him to 1. First half numbers there you see. 195-95. The one turnover was an interception by Mike Adams. And they had the football. Did Indianapolis double the amount? Colts coming into this game at 3-5, sharing the AFC division lead with the Houston Texans, who are on a bye week. 2nd and 9, play action. Here's Luck, middle of the field. Oh, that pass was in the hands of Johnson.
There's so many things. The pocket is collapsing. It was another blitz. Andrew Luck hung in there. It was a heck of a throw, but Aqib Talib was all over it. There's a blitz by Brandon Marshall. Thornton picks it up. Good movement. Boy, throws on the target. Yeah, it was good, but he put some heat on that.
That pass was absolutely where it had to be.
Yep, it was. Hands were probably, as a receiver, if you turn him the other way, it's going to make a catch like that a little easier.
3rd and 9. And Luck, he got hit on the release. And that was Malik Jackson. Was picked up by Talib. Nobody on the field has ruled it an incompletion. And Talib, who has 2 pick sixes on the year, returns that one. Now that's got to be an incomplete pass, you would think.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete forward pass.
There you go.
It was, again, the pressure. In that time, Brandon Marshall was not going to let Andrew Luck out of his pocket. Control the football, his arms going forward. Absolutely incomplete pass. Stewart's blitzing. They're just doubling up on their effort to get to the quarterback, Jim. Now they got somebody watching Andrew Luck, so he can't run. They're blitzing safeties. They got good pass rushers.
They better get someone to watch Omar Bolden, who just gave them their first punt return touchdown in a couple of seasons since Trendon Holiday, the 2nd week of the 2013 season, went 81 yards against the Giants. Ball comes out. And I'm not sure they gave him enough room to even make the catch.
No, they did not.
And the flag is out. It's going to be against Winston Guy.
Interference with the opportunity to make the catch. Number 27, the kicking team. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
Do you agree with this call, Phil?
Yes, I do. He was underneath him, in the way, didn't give him the opportunity to make that catch cleanly.
Just before the game, the Colts being introduced to the field, joined by some of our military men and women. And in honor of Veterans Day, every point scored during the NFL's 32 Salute to Service games, the league's going to donate $1,000 to its nonprofit partners. First snap of the 2nd half for the Broncos, and Hillman trying to hide behind that offensive line, but he is knocked back for a loss of 1. Here's the possession chart for the Broncos in that first half. Manning threw for 80 yards. They had only 15 yards on the ground.
Bill Cowher was right at halftime. He talked about a lot of things went on in the first half. But this Indy defense, they were spectacular.
Run it again. And again, they've got it behind the line.
You know what they call that, don't you, Jim? Outside number 93 that time, Walden. That's called setting the edge.
There you go. You're good for one of those again.
Yeah, got to set the edge. And when we said that last night to somebody, they go, they hate that term. I go, well, I use it all the time because it's so important. Eric Walden did not let the run get outside, and they put this Broncos offense in another tough 3rd and long.
Yeah, 3rd and 14. Got to get to midfield for the first. Peyton pressured. Able to step up and go deep. Emmanuel Sanders takes it all the way for the touchdown. 64 yards. Lowry and Toller got beat on the play. And Peyton stepped up and launched a long one for the score.
This time he put the proper amount of air on the football. You don't have to be fast as a quarterback. Oh, look at that. He stepped up, got his body in the right position. Beautiful spiral. That ankle's not hurting anymore on Emmanuel Sanders. Gosh, when you watch him here, TV doesn't do him justice. He is so fast.
We got a 3-point game. 2 touchdowns in 3 minutes and 33 seconds. 2 big ones. A long punt return and the long pass to Sanders. Don't forget that touchdown came on a 3rd and 14 play. Sanders gets behind the secondary. In this game that was so one-sided with just seconds to go in the first half is now suddenly 17-14. And again, takes a while for the Colts to get hold of it, but Gray going to get him out to about the 34-yard line. The kicker is in on the tackle after the 22-yard return. Peyton now about halfway to his 284 for the yardage record. The USS Indianapolis Memorial, recognizing the brave men and women who served on the last U.S. ship to sink in World War II. It's first down for the Colts. Luck has hit only 2 of his last 8 throws for 8 yards. Coming out firing here. And it gets knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Looks like Malik Jackson's made a lot of plays. I believe he got a hand on it. By the way, the all-time pass yardage record since 1970. It belonged to Johnny Unitas, 70 through 76, overtaken by Fran Tarkington. Then Dan Marino came along and got 61K before 71,000 by Brett Favre. And now Peyton is 140 yards away from breaking the Favre all-time record. Here's Gore on a 2nd and 10 run, completely covered up by that front line, and stepping up as well as Trevathan.
Yeah, look, they're just daring the Colts to drop back and throw the football now. They are crowding the line of scrimmage every play with blitzes and different looks, and the Colts have got to find a way to block it. Give Andrew Luck a little time and let somebody get down the field, either a double move or get open deep. There's a coverage. Hey, look, you're a defensive back for the Denver Broncos. You know the football is going to come out pretty quick because of their pass rush.
3rd and 12. Able to somehow break free. And he didn't quite get there this time. Almost. So what an effort by Luck. Picks up 11. He needed 12.
Just a great effort by Andrew Luck. That time there's no blitz. Only 4 guys coming after him, but there was a short throw, but he's not taking it because he knew it was not going to make the first down.
They're thinking about going for it here.
No, I think, well, they're asking for a measurement to determine whether, okay, will they try something to take away this momentum from the Denver Broncos. Andrew Luck, we talked about it, big key today, running the football, running hard. Boy, is he determined. You can just tell. He's running with a purpose. No regard for his body.
And he's got just inside of a yard for a first. Would you think about going for it at your own 43?
Let me think, no. I would not even think about it. Maybe I'd run out there and try a trick play like draw them off sides, but punting is the only thing you do here.
Crowd doesn't like the decision. By the way, that punt return touchdown at the end of the half, since 1985 in the league, the only other time that a half ended with a punt return touchdown was Deshaun Jackson's game winner, that Philadelphia at New York Giant game back in 2010. That memorable return. McAfee. Best kick of the game. Bolden with the fair catch at the 9. Now Manning and the Broncos come out. Down 3. They can drive here, possibly take the lead. Today's Next Gen stats are presented by Esurance, auto and home insurance for the modern world. Jim Nantz back here with Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson, Lance Barrow, Mike Arnold, all the crew at Lucas Oil Stadium.
There you go, pistol formation, running back behind the quarterback.
Got a flag thrown as Anderson had contact coming his way from Trent Cole right away.
Holding, offense number 76. The penalty is declined. Second down.
Well, they were all proud of this run game the last couple weeks. Denver has. It's not working today. Tyler Columbus on the hold, and they have no chance with this defensive line. A young defensive line, 2 rookies inside, causing a lot of havoc.
That running play lost a couple. That's Daniels. Lowry with the open field tackle. You know, you talked about Columbus, who was flagged on the previous play. Tyler Sembrilo, who had been the left tackle early in the season, out for the season IR this week with a shoulder. So they're going to alternate Ryan Harris and Tyler Columbus.
Well,
at left tackle.
Yeah, 2 veterans, keep them fresh.
3rd and 6. Robert Mathis is back out there. He appeared to be shaken up on the touchdown play. And here he comes flying in. There's a second catch of the game in traffic. It's Demaryius Thomas.
Oh, that was it's everything. Good timing on the blitz. What a throw and catch. Here comes Mathis, your best passer up the middle, followed by a safety blitzing one-handed catch over the middle. If that ball's hit up in the air, it's going to be intercepted. What a job by Peyton Manning hanging in there and making the throw.
Suction cup catch by Thomas. Now with 2 catches on the game for 24 yards, coming off of back-to-back 100-yard performances. There's the fake by Manning, and over to Owen Daniels. Tight end screen it is. Waiting for a block to unfold behind Columbus. And he's got 11 and another first.
Well, it's something we saw last week. He loves his formation. Gary Kubiak, where the running back is behind Peyton. Why? Because he can make really good play-action fakes, and it gives Manning a lot of space between him and the linemen that are coming after him. That time like a little screen off of it. Well designed, and well, Jim, I don't care if you're running it well or not. You can always do play action. It's going to catch people off guard a little bit and make them hesitate for a half a beat.
On first down, Anderson. He's got 8. Next Saturday, the SEC on CBS features the best game from the best conference in a doubleheader. Georgia, Auburn, Alabama, Mississippi State. Next Saturday, the SEC on CBS. Henry coverage of today's game is provided by DirecTV. Anderson was helped to the sideline. Zach Kurtz come in for him. Actually taking Anderson in. 2nd and 2 for Denver. Bootleg, and Manning wants another long one. It's Daniels open, and he's out of bounds at the 20.
This is a play that Peyton Manning did here with the Colts, and they were one of the first ones in the league to ever do it. Usually when you roll left, you're going to throw to the side you're rolling to, but no, he sets up, throws across the grain because the defense is expecting Daniels to go with the quarterback. Instead, watch how he rounds it out and goes outside. Boy, that is, well, we heard Peyton Manning. He likes those bootlegs. He wants to show everybody he can still get outside the pocket, and especially going to the left, make those kind of throws.
Hasn't missed in this quarter. He's thrown for 130 yards. From the 18, Anderson. Tackled by Jarrell Freeman.
Well, Gary Kubiak has made his mark in the NFL. Of course, as a coordinator, head coach, but a play-action quarterback like we just saw, especially moving the quarterback. Peyton Manning with Tom Moore, they started a lot of these play actions that we witnessed, and the one we just saw to Owen Daniels was one.
Tom Moore, the longtime offensive coordinator here with Peyton's first 12 years in the league. We wish you a happy birthday, Coach Moore. Now on the staff at Arizona. Beloved figure around the league. 2nd down and 6. Peyton 6 for 6 in the 3rd quarter. Got another connection to Demaryius Thomas.
Well, he talked about it last week, Peyton Manning did. To us, Jim, what he said, we just had great rhythm. And rhythm means they were picking up plays just like that. Running the football pretty well and just making it easy to play calls and keep a defense off balance.
He said we had a feeling, a look. Everything was a little tighter. And he was looking to repeat that on this field today. That's what's happened in this quarter. 3rd and 3. And that pass incomplete. He's trying to find Benny Fowler. And they'll bring out McManus.
Pressure does it, but the coverage by Cole Anderson was there. He was not fooled. Once again, I think that was Robert Mathis that got there. I'm not sure, but even if he had time, I don't think he was going to be able to complete the pass.
First incompletion of the quarter for Peyton, and now the attempt to tie the game from 29 yards. Brandon McManus, who has been sensational this year, 18 of 19, including 5 from outside of 50, and he drills it. This game changed on one punt return. 17 unanswered by Denver. The game is tied. Peyton 67 yards away from eclipsing the Favre NFL all-time record.
Well, what did he say? The way we were throwing the football early in the year, he goes, I looked at that number and thought that might take me 3 weeks to get over what he's tried to do here today, but passing game's caught on here lately.
We tried to talk to him about the significance of that record. There's another record. He would get the all-time win record. That's the only one he really wanted to talk about. The World War II monument. We were in downtown Indianapolis. Marcus Ware. He's taking the tape off.
Yes, he is. He is done. That's why we saw Shaq Barrett in there in that other series.
First down, and Luck just throws it into the ground. Let's get a report from Tracy.
You mentioned DeMarcus Ware on the sideline. I just got word from the Broncos that he has a back injury. He will not return, Jim.
That's bad news. The good news is they have Shaquille Barrett, who we've talked about already. Defensive Player of the Year in his conference, comes out as a free agent. A new coach comes in, a new defense. He gets in shape, and he's turning into a tremendous player.
Here's the toss play to Gore. He picks up 5 along the short side, and Barrett was the one there to defend it. The Colts now in this quarter had picked up 26 yards and only 1 first down.
Yeah, they're just getting attacked. That's what it took. Look at all the good blocks I saw in that last play just to pick up 6 yards. There's no doubt right here that it's either going to be a pressure defense, and if it's not, we know it's going to be tight coverage on the outside, and that's what they're doing. Everybody getting close to the receiver, they're going to cover.
T.Y. Hilton guarded by Harris at the bottom of your screen. 3rd and 4. With Ward blitzing, they're going to Hilton. He was open. And he's got the first down. Gain of 7.
You know it's going to, here comes the blitz, and why I knew it was going to happen, because at the last second, Chris Harris backed off of T.Y. Hilton, and he's going to let him go inside. Why? Because he had safety help inside. But Andrew Luck, when he needs to, can put a little steam on the ball and get it there before you're ready.
He broke a streak there of 6 consecutive incompletions. He definitely put a little added zip on that one. 5 catches for 82 yards for Hilton, who was questionable coming in with a foot sprain. Again, first down, looking to throw. Fleener has hold of it and wrestled down by Ward. And Ward hobbles to the sideline.
It's a good matchup for the Colts. TJ Ward's been tough today. Guess what? It's another blitz. What a job. I think it was Ahmad Bradshaw.
It was, yep.
Knocking down that time. Vance Walker, a big defensive line. Andrew Luck, boy, let it go again. Separation between him and the line. Time to throw and a good matchup. One of the few really good opportunities they've had to throw the ball.
Wasn't sure about the spot. They didn't give him the first down, and that goes nowhere, so it'll be 3rd and 1. Fleeter on the catch. It looked like he was right at the first down sticks. They marked him a full yard short of it. 3rd and 1 coming up.
Stack receivers up top. You would think he would go left.
Rolls out. Has Whalen, his old roommate, at Stanford for 4.
Well, this is an old play started by a guy at Stanford. His name was Bill Walsh. Called sprint right option. Everybody that's had any connection with Bill Walsh or people that coached under him or knew him, they run that exact play. They do it many different ways. We saw it in practice. I go, that's amazing. Every team in the league runs it. Good execution by Whalen and Andrew Luck.
Colts offense able to get a little something going here. A couple of first downs.
Of course, that's all the history I know, so don't ask me.
It was a good lesson as Bradshaw able to fight out toward the...
I guess I'm not surprised. Powerful.
2nd and 7. And Luck gets blindsided by Malik Jackson. How about the game of Malik Jackson so far?
Gosh, you know, every time we do a game, we got to bring him in, talk to him. He just has blossomed into such a really good player. A late round pick from Tennessee, transferred from USC, and just every year just keeps getting better.
Well, you keep taking hits like that. We all know that Luck has been injured this year, missed a couple of games, shoulder issue.
That's right.
Some thought there perhaps even cracked ribs, but they would never admit to that. 3rd and 7. Got an open man. It's Whalen to the 10-yard line.
So many good things. What a throw right on the money by Andrew Luck. Stack the receivers. That's what you do to make sure you get a clear release, and it breaks down the defense. The corner follows inside, and then the running back, Bradshaw, picked up the blitz and gave Andrew Luck the opportunity to step up and make that throw.
4th catch for Whalen for 55 yards. 38 coming right there. Set up at the 13. Bradshaw.
One of those little things you do as an offensive coordinator. You play really good cover guys like we've talked about on Denver. So you move guys around, you stand them, you know, behind each other so the defense can't get up there, and it created a big play for him. There's Rob Chudzinski. Listen, going against this defense, taking over a job and only having a couple of days, tremendous job so far.
Tied through 3. Back after this message and a word from your local station. The Colts are driving to start the 4th quarter, a drive that's already 5 minutes old. 2nd and 9 coming up.
Hold on. Let it roll. There's 70.
Luck still has it. First option not there, nor is the second. So he's going to take off with it. Boy, another hard hit on him. Trevathan pummeled him down.
That's Sylvester Williams, who just got the little add-on, number 92.
Yeah. That's the one that hurt.
Well, it just shows you, oh boy, the first hit is solid, and the second one, you're right. But it shows you the determination, and I'm not going to say where you know, it's a different set of circumstances right now here for Andrew Luck and his football team, and that's why we're seeing him take so many chances running the football and taking those big hits.
On 3rd down on this drive, he has not missed. 3 for 3. He's got a 3rd and 5 coming from the 8. Blitz, open, Bradshaw, end zone, Indianapolis.
I love this play. You want to be aggressive on defense. Here comes the blitz. 2 guys. They figured, oh, Ahmad Bradshaw will block one of us. No, sir. Free release. Really good read by Andrew Luck. Ahmad Bradshaw can still get up. But what? They've been blitzing so much that they called exactly the right play, Jim, and caught the blitz that time and scored the touchdown.
Just joined this team back week 6 in the game against New England, did Bradshaw. His first touchdown of the season. He had 8 last year. Impressive drive by the Colts to take the lead back by 7. There's Joe Horrigan. He's come in from the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the resident historian, great friend of the game. He's here to try to pick up some memorabilia if a couple things break Peyton's way. He's still got the football. He's looking deep again. And that's another big gainer out to Owen Daniels. Tracy Wolfson, down to you.
Well, that is right, Jim. Joe Horrigan just got down to the field as Peyton inches closer to that record. The balls are numbered, so if he does break it, the official will hand it to the lead equipment manager, Chris Valenti, who will then hand it to Horrigan, who will then drive it up tomorrow morning, and it will be on display at the Hall of Fame by 1 o'clock, Jim.
I'm headed that way. Maybe I'll ride with him. 40 yards away from the yardage record. But here he throws to Green. And Green picks up another 13 or so.
Well, the way Owen Daniels is running and catching the football, Vernon Davis, who they just acquired from San Francisco, is going, well, I wish I'd have got here a little earlier. Because Owen Daniels, he looks faster now to me. Maybe it's the uniform than he did when he was down in Houston. Getting across the field. Separating himself from Greg Toller, a very good corner, and of course makes the catch and run.
27 yards away. But from the 40, first down carry by Anderson. Into the secondary and tripped up by Cole Anderson on C.J. Anderson.
Well, I would say this, when you watch the run, they are limited with Henry Anderson out, the defensive tackle for the Colts. This Colts defense not that deep. The Broncos offense moving the football, fatigue absolutely has to be a factor for the Colts defense.
That's Anderson for 3 more. Anderson, he is shaken up.
It's one thing, you could say whatever you want about the Colts. It was a really, really slow start. Not good at any numbers right now. They are improving as I watch them play, but they are physical, hard-hitting. I said I think the lack of depth this year has been a problem for him.
2nd and 7 from the 25. Manning sidesteps the pressure, then is taken down by Kendall Langford.
Well, one of the things before the injury, Kendall Langford, number 90, a veteran. They got him in the offseason, trying to keep his reps down. Why do you want to do that? For reasons just like that. Still has the energy here in the 4th quarter where he could get that rush on and take Peyton Manning down.
Langford's played in a consecutive game streak that's the longest of any defensive lineman in the league right now. That's the first sack of Manning in his past 112 dropbacks. He's got a 3rd and 14. Sets up the screen. Demaryius Thomas. picks up the first down on 3rd and 14. They scored on a 3rd and 14 play in the third quarter, and this time they pick up 17 on another 3rd and 14.
It's almost a given. When it's 3rd and long, they're going to try some type of screen a lot of times, just like we see with the New England Patriots. In that time, as you watch Evan Mathis, the left tackle, Ed Paradis, all got out and got blocks to pick up the first down.
10 yards from the record, 15 yards away from a tying touchdown, given, of course, an extra point. Colts threatening blitz, pass, crossed over, down to the 8-yard line is Thomas.
Like watching the Bengals the other night, the fake zone read, throw the screen. That was up to Peyton Manning what to do. He decided to throw it.
Of course, he has no idea. Not that that's anything that's really foremost on his mind, but he's just now 4 yards away from the record. Would he get the record on just a pedestrian little wide receiver screen, or maybe even a touchdown? 2nd and 3. And he'll run it. And they're about a yard shy with Hillman.
I don't know if I brought it up today. As we talk, Jarrell Freeman, DeQuell Jackson, I thought they both need to have outstanding days inside stopping the run. I'd say that's worked out pretty well for them in this Colts defense.
Big snap coming up, 3rd and 1. Anderson's return to the backfield.
So many things they can do out of this look. Bunch receivers.
Play action to the end zone, up top, and incomplete. And a flag is thrown on Toller, who had hold of Demaryius Thomas.
It's a good call. He did reach out and grab him.
Pass interference, defense, number 28. The foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, the ball is placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic, first down.
The Colts were not fooled. Watch 88 in the middle of the screen. He comes out. Greg Toller was in the perfect position. Peyton Manning gets a little roughed up there, but why'd they do that, Jim? Because if they wouldn't have got the touchdown, they would have went for it on 4th down.
It was Trent Cole who took Peyton to the ground. Farron's backup center was in the backfield, then shifted. Here's Manning to the end zone. He's got a touchdown pass to Owen Daniels.
Owen Daniels. 6 catches today for over 100 yards, and you see this a lot. They just got the Indy defense rolling everywhere. Just a good play action fake, then the quick look-in pass. Nothing that Vontae Davis can do better than that.
Owen Daniels has spent his entire NFL career with Gary Kubiak. His first 8 years with the Texans. Then last year when Kubiak was the offensive coordinator with Baltimore, Kubiak was there. And now here in Denver. So they go out and get Vernon Davis. Everybody's all excited about the tight end position. Owen Daniels says, don't forget about me. 6 catches, 102 yards, and the tying touchdown in the 4th. 24-24 with 8:54 to play here in Indianapolis. Manning 3 yards away from breaking the Favre record. A short kick here. That's Doyle. Got a touchdown in that first half. Hurdling over one defender and out of bounds. Peyton's completed passes to 88 different receivers in his career, including himself. Caught a pass that he threw back in 03 in a game. Chasing more history here. We're back at Lucas Oil Stadium as the Colts are tangling with an undefeated team for the 3rd time in the last 4 games. New England beat them here by 7. Carolina took care of them in overtime Monday night down in Charlotte. And this one all tied. Here's play action to start the drive. Pulled down by Moncrief. Marshall gives chase, but he's out of bounds after a pickup of 15.
Man, that was some play call. Nice fake by Andrew Luck. And you always have to find a way to get a drive started. That was a great one for the Colts.
Derek Wolfe is still down on the field.
You hope it's just cramps.
Back at this stadium that opened back in 2008. There's Wolfe. He was able to walk to the sideline. First down for the Colts. They cross it here to Gore. He's tripped up by Ward, who came up and was able to sense that play for a 5-yard loss.
That's especially 43. Really a safety, very good around the line of scrimmage. This brings an attitude to the defense every time even last year, Wade Phillips, he's a tough guy. You know, plain and simple.
All trimmed up this year, lost about 15 pounds coming into the season.
Looks faster. You know, of course, even as a safety, you want to hit hard, but speed, man, that makes you make more plays, and you can see the difference in him when you watch him play.
Gore now with 4 yards rushing in the second after a big first half. Second and 15. Luck rifles it. He's got his man. It is Doyle. And they're going to spot it for a first down. Picks up 15.
Good job, Jim. Good timing. Andrew Luck again, decisive. It's crossers. Oh my gosh, he gets sandwiched between two guys. Watch him take the hit as he throws it. But they had crossers underneath, and he hung in the pocket to hit Doyle, who was behind, and gets the first down.
That was Vaughn Miller. Down throw. A connection with Moncrief. Luck has been running, and he's been taking a pounding. He's taken a lot of hits here, Phil.
His determination is just incredible. Running the football, the determination, breaking tackles, not going down. And if you saw him and you didn't know he was a quarterback, you think, well, that's a big tight end running, just being tough. How about that hit, too? That explains it all. The state of mind of this football team, and especially Andrew Luck here today.
David Bruton Jr. has come in at safety. Ward has missed the last couple of plays. And on 2nd and 2, going back the other way, and no one is there except Talib. Just a reminder, your weekend starts Thursday. The Bills and the Jets. Rex Ryan returns to take on his old team. Thursday Night Football on NFL Network.
You know, Jim, that play was the same play that we saw Peyton throw to Owen Daniels, and Aqib Talib did not bite, stayed outside, and Andrew Luck had to throw it away. Aqib Talib, talented, very smart.
He's at the top on Hilton, 32. From here would be a 55-yard field goal, but they had to go that way. Going long for Moncrief, and he's unable to hold on. Broken up at the last moment by Roby. Now what will they do? They're going to bring out Vinatieri for that 55-yard field goal attempt.
Great job by Bradley Roby. Big risk by the Colts, going for the home run, get the touchdown. Bradley Roby, one of the most improved corners in the league.
Vinatieri, if he makes this would be the longest make of his Indianapolis career. 55 for the lead. Adam Vinatieri at 42 years old and still going strong. In his 20th season, Mr. Clutch, Adam Vinatieri puts the Colts on top at 27-24. Some of the early headlines. Carolina hands Green Bay its 2nd consecutive loss, and the Panthers remain unbeaten, as do the Patriots, who beat Washington today. And in a thriller, the Steelers over the Raiders. Big Ben, we're hearing now from our Jason Lockenfora, foot sprain, MRI tomorrow, might miss at least a couple of weeks. There's some of the big stats. Antonio, 17 catches, 280. He got the Peyton number he needed coming into the game, right on the number, 284.
Big Ben would have stayed healthy all year. Antonio Brown would have broke a lot of records for receivers this year.
Here's the McAfee kickoff. It's Bolden. Bolden already with a punt return today. Able to really blaze for a 41-yard return. Out to about the 34. C.O. Moore on the tackle. Peyton just a short throw away from the mark.
We'll see if the Colts defense has anything different from Peyton Manning to maybe stop him from setting that record here in this drive.
Scott Fowler in the game as the third receiver. Good play action fake, pressure, gets the pass away, and is it picked off? Right off the ground with it. It's Darius Butler. The ruling on the field is an interception.
Darius Butler read it the whole way and was aggressive and beat Demaryius Thomas to the football.
They're going to rule him down after the interception at the 49. They say he was touchdown. Let's see if it's clean. It is, and there's contact, so he's down right there.
That was... Hands are underneath the football. It's going to hold up. Turnovers are being reviewed, of course, automatically. But you saw, Jim, how about that they were both at the same spot? It's anybody's football, and Darius Butler attacked it and made the play.
Darius Butler, who came into this league out of UConn, drafted 7 years ago by the Patriots in the second round. So the second interception by that Indianapolis secondary, and a big one with exactly 6 minutes to go. Gore, who's been held in check in the second half, plunges ahead for about 3, maybe 4.
Now, there's a couple things. You got to be aggressive. We've seen the aggressive play calling by Rob Chazinski to keep Denver a little bit off balance. But everything's in play here. Time, knowing you, of course, you want to score. You want to do both. So stay in the huddle. No use rushing. So if you do get these first downs and march down the field, you want to leave as little time on that clock for Peyton Manning as possible.
Chazinski talking to us about managing first and second down so they don't have to set them up for a feeding frenzy on third down. That Denver defense. Here's the second down carry by Gore. He takes a couple of players with him within 1 of a first.
What a run. What blocking up front. I've talked about Jonathan Harrison many times today, but that time Hugh Thornton, the right guard. That's the 2 inside guys. They get contact. And Frank Gore, what else can you say? The experience slithered through there once again. And it really puts the Colts in 2-down territory right here.
Yeah, 3rd and 1 right here. They give it to Gore. And he pushes the pile, I believe, enough for the first.
Well, I was sitting there thinking that's where you'd like to have the Tom Brady quarterback sneak, but that worked also.
Next Sunday, doubleheader action on CBS, and early, the Browns against the Pittsburgh. Landry Jones is going to be that quarterback next week for the Steelers. And the big late game, we're going to be there for the New England Patriots and the New York Giants. All starting with the NFL today at noon Eastern. Of course, the Patriots and the Giants met right here in this stadium for Super Bowl 46. Quite a history between those two. We'll see them next Sunday. And Luck has the pass almost intercepted. What a play that was by Talib. But a flag is down way back in the secondary near the 20-yard line.
Holding. Defense, number 43. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
TJ Ward up on the line of scrimmage. He turns Dwayne Allen. That's why it's called. And you're allowed to make that contact. Initially hit him inside of 5 yards. He turned him all the way around. That's why the flag was thrown. It was a good call.
5 penalties today on the Denver defense. At the 33, it's Gore again with quick contact by that swarming defense. Walker maybe the first one to get to him. Loss of a couple. Timeout called by the Broncos. So the Broncos call that timeout, leaving them with 2.
Yeah, I like it. Do it now. And what you're doing, you're telling the other side, Chuck Pagano, hey, you're not just going to run the ball and waste time on us here. We're going to make you throw it.
There's 70!
Puts more pressure on the Colts offense and the team.
3 tight ends in for Indianapolis, and backpedaling and launching it deep to Hilton, who makes the catch, but he was out of bounds for a moment, I believe, before he came back in and made the catch.
You're right, illegal touching.
Boy, Luck got hammered again, meanwhile, by Ward after getting rid of it. Yeah, this is going to go against Hilton. I'm certain he was out of bounds for a moment.
It was illegal touching by number 13 of the offense. Went out of bounds. Returned, it was the first to touch. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Boy, left foot's out of bounds. And if he'd have been illegally pushed out of bounds, this would have counted as a catch. But since he was not.
Watch T.J. Ward.
Well, we could show you that highlight about 30 times today, right? I mean, this Andrew Luck is truly taken a vicious beating. But I don't think there's any other way around it, Jim. When you play the Broncos, if you want to be aggressive, you got to pay the price.
They're going to run it here, 2nd and 17. Gore gets past the line of scrimmage, puts him down in the field goal range. And another timeout called by Denver after an 8-yard run by Gore. 3rd down on the way. Brandon Marshall walked off the field in pain. Just reached the Broncos bench. Shaq Barrett is in there. Todd Davis, though, actually takes Marshall's place. A 3rd and 10 from the 34. And if it's field goal after this play from here, it would be 52 yards. Vinatieri having just made from 55. Miller coming after him. Pass is there for Wayland. And Ward wrestles him down, but not until the Colts pick up a new set of downs at the 15. How about Luck getting rid of this just in time?
58 coming around the outside. Von Miller, another big hit on the quarterback. But Andrew Luck, the difference today, he's bracing himself really on balance when he throws these footballs, when he's under this pressure. And that football, you saw the beautiful spiral, the perfect touch, and the zone coverage. Unique, you don't see it often behind that look. And they took advantage of it.
70!
First down, handoff, Gore for 1. And now they can let the clock, and nope, Denver's going to use its last timeout. (27-24) with 2:35 to go. Again, all this upheaval this week in Indianapolis. What would this win mean to the Colts if they're able to finish it off?
Oh, listen, it's a springboard. You know, I don't know what to say. That nobody gave them a chance to win this game today. To win, of course, it's important against Denver. Gives you more of a lift also. And to know that you can play with them, they've proven that here today. They can line up and slug it out with anybody.
And they haven't won out of the division this year, oddly enough. 3-0 inside the AFC South. Sharing the lead coming into the week with the Houston Texans. 0-5 out of the division, but taking on one of the mighty teams, the 8-0
If they win, Jim, it's the
Broncos.
team and how they've done it, which will really give them confidence.
2nd and 9. That score again. We still got another whistle to the flag. Yeah, flags are out.
Oh, this is going to be huge. If this is against the Denver Broncos, it could cost them any chance of winning this game.
Well, Moncrief and Ward were tangled up in having a dispute. Dwayne Allen may have been poked in the eye. He's been battling all kinds of foot and ankle injuries. It's not produced the kind of year we expected.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 21, defense.
Wow.
After this is to the goal, automatic, first down.
Let's see what started this. Miller and Allen. And Talib then comes over. He did poke him in the eye.
Oh. Well, this takes it after this first play to the 2-minute warning. Then you have the play clock, the time it takes to run the plays. No matter what happens, the best case scenario for the Denver Broncos to get the football back, probably the best case scenario, is with not much time left. Can't figure it out exactly, but most likely needing a touchdown with so little time left.
No penalties on the Broncos offense today, but that's the 6th on the defense, and that was a big one. A timeout is called by the Colts. And you look at this division here, and it's not pretty. A nice win today by Tennessee down in New Orleans. And 2nd win for them. Malarkey taking over as the interim coach, getting a win in overtime. But, you know, the winner of this division is going to be the 4 seed. Right. The other 3 divisions. Now, you've got undefeated New England, undefeated Cincinnati. You got Denver here coming in, of course, unbeaten.
Well, I'll say this. One reason, just looking at what they're doing on the sideline, Chuck McGowan, that was Clyde Christensen. They're going over everything to know the situation so they don't make a mistake here, trying to end this football game with these last couple plays.
Score for 1 will take us to the 2-minute warning. And again, in the West, the Broncos at 7-0. Oakland losing in a hard-fought battle at Pittsburgh, dropping back to 4-4. Kansas City off this week. San Diego hosts Chicago tomorrow night. No timeouts left for the Broncos. 2-minute warning. Indianapolis leads it 27-24. All right, here come the Colts to the line of scrimmage. Talib on the sidelines after that personal foul penalty. He's not in there. 2nd and goal from the 6. 4. Runs into a wall at about the 3. And they're going to be able to run this down to about 1:13 before the next snap.
Yeah, that was as long. That play I'm watching, it took almost 8 seconds, so that helped. And that time at fullback, they brought in David Perry, a defensive tackle.
Ahmad Bradshaw's just come into the backfield for the Colts. Of course, he was on the Giants when the Giants won Super Bowl 46. It's okay if he scores this time, Phil.
Absolutely.
Remember that occasion?
Red 70! Where's that?
Here it is, the give to Bradshaw. He's got no chances. Shaq Barrett is there along with Brandon Marshall, who wasn't out for very long. And again, that penalty, as you see Talib coming in.
You almost could have called the penalty on Von Miller for striking Dwayne Allen, then Aqib Talib comes in and looks him in the eye.
That was just no accident. That he happened to poke him in the eye there.
No, I don't think so.
It looked like he was reaching for it.
He did it on purpose. Of course, it's going to be talked about a lot. That's gave them the first down, let them run out, get to this position here where there's going to be under 25 seconds for Peyton Manning to get the football to try to score a touchdown.
So Vinatieri is going to come out for the short field goal. And just a reminder, tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes and the largest, most complex machine ever made, followed by new episodes of Madam Secretary, The Good Wife, and CSI Cyber on America's most watched network.
You know, you just got to concentrate every play. You can't get carried away emotionally in football anymore. They see everything, and it's, you know, for Aqib Talib, yes, terrible mistake. And what makes it even worse is the fact that he plays and played today so well.
Well, he's out here on the special teams for this 23-yard field goal attempt. Vinatieri in his 299th career game has made one for the third time today, but a flag comes out. And Indianapolis is signaling with great fanfare that this might be a penalty against Denver.
That's going to end the game.
It could end it.
Number 59, defense.
Automatic.
To the goal. Automatic. First down.
Ball game. Ball game.
Trying to create a lane. So they can get somebody in. There it is, number 59, I think it is. Trevathan. Create a lane to block it.
One kneel down away. Peyton's going to have to wait a week to get the record. They just threw another flag here on the Broncos for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well, bad mistakes by the Broncos at the end, but let's don't take away from what the Colts did either. They did some terrific things here today. They showed courage. They showed a lot of guts. And they showed great fight.
Indianapolis gets on track with its much-needed victory over Denver. 27-24, the Broncos' first loss of the season.
Jim, the Broncos have won some unbelievable games at the end. Today, they let it get away.
There's Robert Mathis. Only Mathis, Vinatieri, and Pat McAfee are still on the roster from the last time that Peyton Manning was a Colt. The Broncos fall for the first time. Now only Carolina, Cincinnati, and New England are unbeaten. Peyton comes back to Indy for the second time as a Bronco, and he lost by 6. As he did back in 2013 when it was 39-33 final. Actually, it's a 3-point final here with the Vinatieri field goal not counting. So 27-24 victory for the Colts. What a game it was. All these wild turn of events. The punt return, the third quarter blitz by the Broncos, and then the reversal by Indianapolis.
Exciting game, really hard fought. A lot of people played well, but again, the Colts, they got it done when it counted.
27-24 is your final. Indianapolis tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes. You've been watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50.